If not now, then when? That's a question that I've kind of had on my mind recently when it comes to a lot of things, actually. I am on my way to finishing school. I got about 4 months left before I completely graduate. I will be graduating with my civil engineering degree, which is very exciting because I love what I do. But there's also a lot of things that I've been putting off in my life, and I don't want to anymore because I keep asking myself the question, well, if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? And a lot of people have things that they want to do in their lives, and they have goals and they have aspirations, and it's, oh yeah, I'm going to do this next week, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and nothing really ever gets done. This can be something that's super small, like scheduling a doctor's appointment, or I don't know, like going to school for the first time, going back to school. You know, if you took a gap year, it's always, oh, I'm going to, but it's not like it's never set in stone until you actually do it. And I literally had this happen to me today. I'm hoping to become a professional engineer, and one of the first things that you have to do in order to become a professional engineer is take an exam called the FE, Fundamentals of Engineering exam. And I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off scheduling, not because I was scared per se, but because I was kind of in the mindset of, oh, I'll just do it later. I'll just do it later. I'll just do it later. And now I need to take this exam 3 months before I graduate instead of 5 months before I graduate, which gives me a little bit less time to kind of have a safety net if I need one. And it's not scary, but I kind of set myself back a little bit more than I needed to. And I'm sure that a lot of you can probably attest to a time where you were in a similar situation where you kind of put yourself in a little bit of a pickle because you put something off. And not everything is going to be, super detrimental, but I'm sure that there's some people who might have something that they've wanted to do for a while and kind of just put it off. And I've spoken about it before in I think a video or two about how I wanted to do this for a long time. I wanted to kind of make videos like this, but I put it off. I put it off because I wasn't comfortable speaking in front of a camera. I would second guess myself, and I would think that every word out of my mouth was stupid. Nothing that I would say would make sense, and it was a lot of second guessing and self-pity and wallowing of, oh, I think that I would be good at this if I just, do it, but when push came to shove, I never started it. So I never practiced. It was just a thought. And moving thoughts into motion is a skill, the more that you think about it, because there's a lot of people that struggle with it for a very long time to be able to, like, just start doing stuff. One of my biggest pet peeves for a lot of people is when they say they're going to do something and they don't do it. I tend to procrastinate when I am talking about doing something for myself. But when people tend to procrastinate about doing things for other people, that's when it begins to irk me, and I'm sure that it probably irks some of you as well, and you kind of know what I'm talking about. But it all kind of just circles back to the, if not now, then when? There's not that much time that we have on this earth. We move around, super quickly and all athletically when we're young, and by the time we're about 30 or 40, we lose that ability, and we start, the running becomes a jog, and then a jog comes a walk, and then a walk comes to a little bit of a little, I don't know, a crutch-based walk, I guess. We have a lot of time when we think about it, but we also don't if you think a little bit longer about it. And everybody's got things that they want to do in life. I want to become a professional engineer. I want to catch up on One Piece. I'm about 600 episodes in, but there's so many things that I want to do. Obviously, some are more important, like starting a career compared to watching One Piece, but it's the same premise. It's 100% the same premise, and it entirely has to do with where our priorities lie and the way that the world is right now. A lot of people are kind of content with not not actively making strides to better themselves because a lot of things are typically handed to people. And when things aren't handed to people, our desire to do things for ourselves typically tends to diminish. That's not true for everybody, but there is there is some truth to that statement as well. That definitely needs to be assessed and really looked at when we think about not only other people but most definitely ourselves. What are you doing right now? If there was a to your head and somebody said if you have to start something new right now, what would it be? What would it be? That's a real question. And do you think that you have the desire or the drive to actually start that thing? Because you only get so much time to do what you want before you're constricted to a 9 to 5, before you're forced to spend every waking hour, uh, effectively slaving away for money. What are you going to do on your off days? What are you going to do tomorrow? What are you going to do when you have free time? Is it going to be the same thing that you do every day? Or is it going to be something new? Is it going to be something that you've always wanted to try? Is it starting a new hobby? These things make us unique and they make us who we are. And if we just continue to put everything off, we're never really going to get to who we're supposed to be. And we're just going to be like we're going to be a half-baked version of who we could be. And I know that I don't want to be a half-baked version of myself. I don't want to be half of the person that I could be. I want to be somebody who is unique, somebody who gets things done, and most importantly, honestly, is somebody who does what he says. And being that type of guy who is reliable and being somebody who, when he says something, he means it, that's something that I really attest to. And if you're scared to do something, if you really want to start something and you're scared, dude, just freaking do it anyway. Like, it's so cliche to say that you only live once, but dog, like, you got one life. You only got so much time on this earth. Have some fun with it, dude. Do what makes you happy. Do what you've always wanted to do, whether it's big or small, Pick up golf, go snowboarding. Make a YouTube channel. Find good ways to better yourself and to do something scared, because that's what builds character. Wow, I sound super inspirational right now, dude. Put me on like Motiversity. Damn. That's what builds character, dude. 100% that's what builds character, is to do things that scare you and to do them day in and day out. Because that fear is only fear because you haven't done it yet. You have more confidence that you're going to fail as opposed to succeeding. That's really all fear is when it's all said and done. And when we are scared, because fear and being scared are two sides of the same coin, but they're also not. You could be scared to do something, or you can fear something. I'm scared of this, but I still do it. Oh, I fear spiders, so I run away from them. I don't try to kill them. I'm scared of spiders. I kill them. That's really that's how I see the difference. I don't know if everybody else sees it that way, but I know that I do. And I also know that I have become a much better person when I started to do things scared. Even when I don't think that it's something that is necessarily attainable, um, I still try to strive for it. I still try to do things that make me uncomfortable because it builds character. It does so many wonders for us. It really does. And you know, it can be small, it can be big, it could be a lot of freaking things, dude. It could be a lot of different things. Um, Face your fears. Do them scared. Be a man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not in a sense of like, oh, you know, step it up and be a man, but like, nah, dude. Like, be a be a freaking man. You know what I mean? In the best way possible. You know, because you could be scared, but being a man is just doing stuff that you're scared of. Just doing it. You know. I started playing rugby in college, and I'm a little bit on the smaller side, you know, average size in general. But when it comes to a sport like rugby, I am on the small side. I was one of the smaller guys on my team, but dude, I was scared every time I stepped onto the field. But that doesn't mean that I feared playing rugby. I loved it. I loved the fear. It definitely made me a better person. It made me have that like desire to do more things that make me scared. And I most definitely encourage you guys to do the exact same thing. I know I didn't really get too much done in the house. I'm trying to do the finer details, so sorry if all you hear is me taking damage and me climbing up these stairs, but just do it scared. That's really all I have for you guys today. See you in the next one. Deuces.